Hey, loves. I hope you all are doing amazing today. I hope you're doing well. Um, Make sure you like this video. Make sure you leave your comments. Let's have a conversation. Share your thoughts and your opinions. And this is your girl Annie here today, coming to have a little chit chat and a conversation with you. Now, today's video might be a little bit different from my usual type videos, but I just wanted to share a light on something that has been happening for a while now, and it's very heartbreaking. It's very sad. With that being said, I would just like to take a moment of silence for the rapper Takeoff. May his soul rest in peace, and my condolences go out to his family, um, wife, kids, if he had any loved ones. My condolences go out to them. It's extremely sad what happened, and it breaks my heart. And this is the reason why I told myself that I need to come on here and do a video about this. Now, when a lot of these rappers die, it trends on social media because this is our generation, right? We're in the social media era, the social media generation. So it trends, it goes all over. You know, everybody talk about it, everybody make videos about it, like what I'm doing right now. But me myself, I'm a very spiritual person. I don't look at things like the average people would. Even if there's nothing to it, I always think about situations and I'm more critical in my thinking. So I just don't think like the average. Um, I always ask questions and I always want answers. With that being said, I think it's time that we start to ask ourselves something just don't seem right. I'm sorry, I don't know how else to say this. Something just don't seem right. Why are all these young men losing their lives? All these young rappers. And we're focusing on rappers, because that's the topic right now. But why are these young rappers losing their lives to gun violence? Yes, we may sit here and we may say that, oh, okay, it's it's what they push. That's their environment. That's what they do. That's true. Very true. They speak about very toxic things in their music videos. Um, they push gun violence, gang, and all of that. Yes, they talk about all those things, which is absolutely wrong because I believe that they're perpetuating this stuff on the younger generation, and the younger generation needs to be hearing this or seeing that. And it's sad because in the last couple of years, we have seen so many young rappers lose their lives. Pop Smoke, Young Dolph, King Von, XXX, PNB Rock. I didn't really know who he was until I heard about his death. And then now Takeoff, and there is just many more, that some of them may not be popular. I'm just naming the really popular ones that everybody know about. Some of them may not be popular. So it's very heartbreaking to see that these young men are losing their lives in the industry to gun violence and stupidity. Because a lot of times when the media tell us what happened, sometimes it just don't make sense. So my question is that every artist who is signed to a record label, I'm assuming that an artist, when they sign to a record label, that they're insured, right? All of them, they're insured, right? Yes. So when an artist is insured, he loses life before you know it. Everybody's talking about him. His song is, charting. His music skyrockets. Somebody gets paid off that. Somebody's making money off that. So if the industry is going to be making money, because of these young talent who has lost their life due to, their own stupidity or gun violence or whatever, or their circle or jealousy or whatever the situation is, then I think it's high time that we as Blacks start standing together and calling things out and say, okay, if an artist is signed to a major label, I think it's high time that the artist or the label start taking responsibilities for their artists. And when I'm saying taking responsibility, I know that our artist may have his free will to do what he wants to, but when you get to a certain standard, that up top level, and you are a big name, then you just can't walk freely like that anymore in the streets. You can't go back to the same dangerous environment that you came out of anymore without security. If you have to go there, then the security must be with you. All these things, I believe, have to be a part of their contract. And if you don't want to stand for that because you want to be free and you don't want anybody to, dictate to you or whatever, then go independent. Don't sign to a record label. Don't sign to a major label, because it's sad what is happening to these. I'm older than a lot of these young men. I'm older than them. Takeoff, young man, had his whole life ahead of him. And mind you, death is coming to all of us. But at the rate these men are dying, it's so sad. It's so heartbreaking to see young Black men losing their lives like this. It is so heartbreaking. So something has to be done. If you're gonna make it from that life and you go back to perpetuating the same stuff, then you have to take responsibilities for your own protection. Get higher security. Do not leave your home or wherever you are without any securities, because it's just dangerous. What I'm seeing is sad, and somebody has to call this out. We have to talk about this. It's really sad. We cannot cry racism if we're taking each other out like this. This is really, really sad. And mind you, like I said, I'm a very spiritual person. Takeoff death, there was just too many symbols around this young man's death. I really don't know what it is. I cannot pinpoint it, but his death was so symbolic. So many symbols. Even the music video, Messy. I had to watch that video when I heard about, what happened to him. I had to watch that video, and it's like, wow, you can point out so many things. It's funny how the universe works. It's almost like timing is everything. Timing to me is everything. So it's so funny. But with that being said, we need to stand in solidarity to figure this out. It is sad what is happening. We're losing young Black men to music, to the industry of, entertainment. Yes, we love these people. We like their music. But if we're going to sit here and let this keep happening and we're not calling it out and talking about it, then what example are we setting for the younger generation? What are we telling them? That it's okay for you to get into this lifestyle, become a big artist, sign to a major record label, and then boom, you're losing your lives because you keep pushing the same, agenda, or you keep perpetuating the same mess of a system that you came out of and that you made it out of. So if they're not going to be smart enough to say, okay, I made it out of that situation. I made millions of dollars. Now I'm not going to go back into that situation. I'm not going to perpetuate and push this negativity anymore. If they're not going to do that, then I think it's hard time that the industry, the owners, start to put that in your contract. If you sign a contract, you're insured, you're our artist now. Now we have to protect you because you're bringing money to us. So we have to protect you. If you have to go somewhere, if you have to go to, wherever it is that you came from, if you have to go somewhere, you have to make sure that you have a security with you, or we provide one for you. I really don't know how to say it, but something has to be done. It's either that, or then Black women in America, or maybe over the world, have to now stand up and start telling their younger kids that, what I'm seeing happening in this industry, you might want to just go to school and become an engineer, become a lawyer, become a doctor. Hell, go and get a trade, do something else. Then we have to start telling our kids to do something else other than being a rapper or being an entertainer. Because this is not looking good. It's not looking good for us at all. And like I said, when these young men die, everybody talks about them. Everybody's streaming their music. Who's getting the money? Somebody is. Somebody is getting the money. It's so hurtful. It's so sad to see what is happening. But we are quick to cry out racism. If we don't protect our own, if we don't love our own, if we don't support our own, how can we cry out racism each and every time? How? How is it that you can just comfortably take a gun and harm your fellow brother or your sister that looks just like you? I'm not getting this. Something has to be said about it. And the industry have to, whatever it is that they have to do, they have to come up with some kind of terms with their artists. Because this is sad. It is much deeper than what we know it to be. It's much deeper. I believe somebody's profiting from this. Yes, they may be hurting and harming each other and doing all the dumb stuff, but somebody else is profiting from this. We got to do better. Because women, young mothers, women are crying because they're losing their kids to gun violence. You didn't make it out of that life to quote unquote get money, get rich. You made it. And then you did all of that to what? Just lose your life? Sometimes we just got to get away from what we made it out of. Yes, you can help, but distance yourself away from what you made it out of, because you beat the curse or you beat the system. You was able to become somebody and you did something for yourself. You're known now. You're famous. And then you just lose your life to that. It's deeper than us just getting upset and because everybody has their own opinions. Everybody, have their own way to see things. I get all of that. But the real question here is that what are we going to be telling our younger generation now? Since this is a continuation of what we see happening. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. It's a circle. It's a circle that just keep on going. So what do we now do? What do we now tell the younger generation? Because right now, if I had a son who wanted to be a rapper, I would be scared. Yes, he may have been brought up in a great home and all of that, but that whole environment is just not a good look. Maybe we got to start having better rap music. Maybe we got to start using our tongue and our mouth to speak about positive things in rap music. Maybe that's what it is. But I don't know how much more to stress this. We need to have the conversation collectively. Because what is happening, the demise of these young men, it's not a good look. It's sad. It is absolutely sad that these every time I hear that another young black man was shot by another young black man or whatever, and every time I hear that, before you know it, social media is going on about them, and we're now streaming their music, and they're now at the charts, and everybody's talking about them. Somebody's getting paid. So the industry just have to do better. Take better responsibility for your artists. I understand you cannot control them, but if they're going to be signed to your record label and they're going to be signed to make you money, then you have to set your laws down and let them know that we're responsible for you now. In terms of, your circle and your gathering. We have to protect you. So when you go to certain places, you have to have either your own security or we have to provide that for you, because it's just unfortunate what's happening. And I cannot pinpoint the blame but the person who did the deed. But like I'm saying, I'm a very deep-minded person, and it's just much deeper than what we see. I believe things are set up. I believe things, not all the time, sometimes I believe that certain situations is meant to happen. And before I end this video, I'm just going to say this too. I'm going to give this advice to young men out there. Fame and money is not always what it seems. You don't have to be a rapper. You can still make good money and do something else. If you have an idea of creating an app, something that's going to be, big and major, a great idea, businesses, trade, engineering, IT, so many other careers out there that young Black men can just do, because this music and this fame and all of this is not as cracked up as it seems to be. That is what I'm really taking from it, because it's extremely sad what is happening to these young Black men. It's very, very sad that we're losing rappers like this. Yep. I don't know how to say this, but rest in peace to Takeoff and every other Black men who lost their lives. So gun violence, just be careful what you put out there. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. This video, I know it's same all over the place, but it was just very emotional for me, and it's very personable, because we all, lose our life one day. We all, but not the way that, these people are going out. It's sad. So just leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Mwah.